Imagine if our moon, the silent guardian of our night sky, turned out to be an artificial creation. How would that change our understanding of the universe? This isn't the plot of a science fiction novel, but a real hypothesis debated by a small, yet tenacious group of thinkers who challenge the conventional wisdom of our lunar neighbor's origin. They propose a tantalizing idea. What if the moon, the celestial body that has captivated humanity since time immemorial, is not a natural satellite but an artificial construct? An idea that, if true, has the potential to shatter our understanding of our place within the cosmos. However, this isn't a journey of belief, but of exploration. We'll examine the origins of this hypothesis, the scientific observations that some argue lend it credence, and the counter-arguments that challenge it. So let's delve into the origins of this fascinating hypothesis. The idea of our moon being artificial actually has roots in both science fiction and some unconventional scientific theories. The hypothesis first surfaced in the mid-20th century, when two Soviet scientists, Mikhail Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov, proposed the Spaceship Moon theory. They suggested that the moon could be a colossal extraterrestrial spacecraft hollowed out by intelligent beings. Their theory, though controversial, wasn't entirely dismissed. It sparked a lively debate and piqued the interest of both the scientific community and the general public. It's even made its way into popular culture. The concept of an artificial moon has been explored in various science fiction novels and films. For instance, the book Who Built the Moon by Christopher Knight and Alan Butler delves into this hypothesis, suggesting an advanced civilization may have constructed our moon. This hypothesis also found a place in the realm of conspiracy theories, with some theorists suggesting that NASA's moon landings were part of a cover-up to hide the moon's true nature. The idea has been explored in countless blogs, articles, and even documentaries, adding a layer of intrigue to our understanding of the moon. So where does this leave us? It's a question that continues to intrigue. While the majority of the scientific community remains skeptical, the hypothesis of an artificial moon persists, enticing us with the tantalizing possibility of the unknown. While it may seem far-fetched, some scientific observations have added fuel to this theory. Some peculiar features of our moon have made scientists scratch their heads. Indeed, there are a few intriguing characteristics of our closest celestial neighbor that lend credence to the theory of it being artificial. Let's start with the moon's size and position. It's remarkably large compared to the Earth, about a quarter of our planet's diameter, which is quite unusual for a natural satellite. Furthermore, it's positioned at just the right distance to perfectly eclipse our sun. This precise alignment is an astronomical rarity that has left many wondering, could it be more than mere coincidence? Then there's the moon's seismic activity, or what scientists call moonquakes. These quakes, unlike those on Earth, reverberate for a remarkably long time. This led to the coining of an unusual term, the moon rings like a bell. Some scientists interpret this as evidence that the moon may be hollow, a characteristic of an artificial structure rather than a natural one. Finally, we must consider the composition of lunar soil. The samples brought back from the Apollo missions revealed a curious abundance of certain minerals and isotopes that are relatively rare on Earth. This unusual composition has left many puzzled, suggesting that the moon's origin may not be as straightforward as we once thought. These anomalies have given rise to some compelling arguments in favor of the artificial moon theory. Proponents of the artificial moon theory point to a number of unexplained phenomena. They argue that the moon's perfect positioning, which allows for total solar eclipses, is too coincidental to be natural. Furthermore, they suggest that the moon's size and distance from Earth is just right to stabilize our planet's wobble, contributing to a stable climate conducive for life, a scenario rare in the cosmos. In addition, they highlight the moon's seismic activity, dubbed as moonquakes, which behave differently than earthquakes, hinting at an unusual interior structure. They also raise questions about the composition of lunar soil, rich in elements like titanium and uranium-236, as well as the presence of rust, which requires both water and oxygen, elements scarce on the moon. Anomalous data from various lunar missions, such as unexplained objects on the lunar surface or strange noises heard by astronauts, are also presented as evidence of artificiality. However, these arguments have not gone unchallenged. Mainstream scientists have plenty of counter-arguments against the artificial moon theory. First, let's talk about the moon's formation. The prevailing scientific theory is the giant impact hypothesis, suggesting that around 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized body named Theia collided with the early Earth. The impact was so intense that it launched a vast amount of debris into Earth's orbit, which eventually coalesced to form the moon. Next, we have seismic activity. Moonquakes, similar to earthquakes, have been recorded by seismometers installed by Apollo missions. These quakes indicate that the moon has a partially molten core and a crust, features consistent with a natural celestial body, not an artificial one. Moreover, the composition of lunar soil, or regolith, further supports a natural origin. The moon's regolith contains a variety of minerals and elements, like those found on Earth, including oxygen, silicon, and iron, but also some unique to the moon, like helium-3. This composition aligns well with the giant impact hypothesis, and not with the idea of an artificially constructed moon. Finally, the sheer logistics of constructing an artificial moon are mind-boggling. The resources, technology, and time required to build a celestial body of the moon's size are beyond human comprehension, let alone implementation. While science leans heavily towards the moon being a natural celestial body, cultural and mythological perspectives add another layer to this discussion. From ancient times, the moon has been the subject of myths and legends. Fascinating tales from various cultures around the globe paint a vibrant picture of this celestial body. For instance, in Chinese mythology, the moon is said to be the home of the moon goddess Chang'e, suggesting an otherworldly habitation. In Hindu mythology, the moon, known as Chandra, is a god driving a shining chariot across the sky, an imagery that could be seen as an artificial construct in motion. Ancient Greeks believed Selene, the moon goddess, wore a shining aureole, likened to a radiant spacecraft in modern interpretations. Native American lore often depicts the moon as a powerful entity with influence over human affairs, again hinting at an external control mechanism. Some ancient African tribes viewed the moon as a cosmic egg, a symbol of life and creation, possibly an artificial object seeding life. Whether these tales hold any truth or not, they further enrich the mystery surrounding our moon. From science to mythology, perspectives on the moon's origins vary widely. We've traveled through the labyrinth of this intriguing hypothesis that the moon might be artificial, starting from its genesis, the observations and arguments that seem to bolster it, and the debunking efforts by mainstream scientists. The theory, despite its controversial nature, has found a curious place in popular culture and literature, further fueling its allure. The scientific community, however, stands firm with its counter-arguments, backed by substantial evidence contradicting the hypothesis. Yet the enigma of the moon doesn't end there. Ancient cultures and their mythologies have their unique interpretations of the moon, some of which curiously align with the idea of it being artificial. While the idea of an artificial moon may sound like science fiction, it's a reminder that the universe still holds many mysteries for us to unravel.